Hey everybody, welcome to ABA Inside Track, the podcast that's like reading in your car, but safer. I'm your host, Robert Perry Cruz, and with me as always are my fabulous co-hosts.
Hey there everyone, it's Jackie.
And it's me, Diana. Hello!
And this is our August 2022 preview. And for those of you who are watching this video preview, which we post on YouTube, we post on Facebook, post on our Patreon page, I'm going to take off my headphones now because I realize I don't need them. Because I'm only listening to us for sound, and I know we all sound like something.
Rob was trying to listen to his inner voice.
Yeah, I just my what is that? Desensitization, sensory deprivation.
Like Princess Leia headphones, basically.
That's why I got them.
Like big cinnamon bun ears.
I got them from my cosplay. Cosplay.
He had to keep them on because he had to take them off. Otherwise, I would have eaten them. Cinnamon bun ears.
I'll be Han.
All right.
I'll just eat it. I'll eat everyone. Whoever eats everyone in that's me.
Jabba?
Yep.
There you go.
I don't watch that.
You don't watch me. I don't watch that.
Don't judge me.
That indie movie, Star Wars. So this is our, like I said, our August preview, and this is our little loosey-goosey episode where we discuss what we will be talking about in the coming month, what articles we'll be reading. We do some other kind of, fun stuff and all that. But it's meant to be sort of just a brief little nugget in your week, a brief window into our lives and the process and all that stuff.
Gets longer the more we describe it.
That's true. We should probably be more concise. But let's get started with what we usually get started with, which is what episodes are coming out this month? What topics will we be discussing? And Diana, as the topics mistress, I feel like every episode, every preview, we come up with a new title for something, then we forget it and have to come up with a new title for the next time around. You're our topics queen, our topic...
Whatever you want.
Master... I like Topic Master.
The Topic Master. Diana, the Topic Master.
There's 4 Wednesdays in August? Oh my goodness gracious. Okay. I didn't even realize that, although we've been recording all these episodes. But that means we have 4 main episodes for the month of August. And let me tell you what they are.
We should probably say what our podcast is about, because I realized we never did.
Okay.
Why don't you do that?
It is a podcast about behavior analysis and behavior analytic research, in which we review usually current, but sometimes past, research on a given topic and summarize what we know thus far, research-wise.
Great. And these are the topics that we'll be discussing about.
Yep,
so
exactly.
If you were thinking Diana was going to give you 4 topics related to Star Wars, like we started talking about, I would have been happy. Yeah. I don't know why we hired Jackie to join in our Star Wars conversation podcast, but...
All right, so and these may be in the right order, but they also might not be. So one of the topics that we have for the month of August is talking to Dr. Matt Norman about variety within the field of ABA and the application of it. So we have, I believe, 3 articles to review for that episode. They are Don't Wag the Dog, Extending the Reach of Applied Behavior Analysis. That's by Norman and Kohn. Behavior Analyst 2013. Come On In, The Water's Fine. Achieving Mainstream Relevance Through Integration with Primary Medical Care. That's by Fryman, also the Behavior Analyst 2010. And then ABA from A to Z. Behavior Science Applied to 350 Domains of Socially Significant Behavior by Heward, Critchfield, Reed, Dietrich, and Kimball, and that was published in Perspectives on Behavior Science 2022.
So I'm going to just say that those were the best titles because they are all catchy.
Oh, they are. Yep,
right?
they
like,
all...
Come On In, The Water's Fine. Behavior Analysis from A to Z.
Don't Wag the Dog.
Oh, that's so good.
I mean, it's all folks, I think, who've been in the field a long time, and they're like I could publish an article on whatever. I'm going to be a little zany.
They did not tell us exactly what we were going to know in the title.
Right, no. The results were not revealed in the title. Yeah, exactly. All right, so
let's pull the curtain back. We already recorded that episode and some of these already because we're getting ready for a couple weeks where we're not recording. And I had a lot of fun talking about variety. I wasn't quite sure what to expect just from reading the articles, and there's a lot.
Could be a variety of things.
A lot there. Could have been a variety of topics. All
right. Next up, we are talking with Saundra Bishop on the topic of trauma-informed care. And I know we recently did an episode on that, episode 204, So we will come up with another variation on the name.
Applications of.
No, we did. That was what that 204
No,
was.
this is trauma-informed care. That was applications.
We already did trauma-informed care. That's episode 134.
We'll figure it out.
So anyway,
I gotta look at what I posted.
Stay tuned on what the title is.
I'm gonna look now.
We're
What
gonna
is it? You
review,
keep going. I'm just
we're
looking.
going to review 3 different resources for that episode. The first is the Trauma-Informed Behavior Management Handbook. That is by Saundra Bishop and her colleagues at Basics ABA Therapy LLC. Then Preventing Adverse Childhood Experiences, or ACEs, Leveraging the Best Available Evidence. That was put out by the CDC in 2019. And finally, The 3 Pillars of Trauma-Informed Care by Bath, published in Reclaiming Children and Youth from 2008. So that's that.
So in our master list, it's applications of trauma-informed care.
Okay, well, what did we...
But what
Yep.
That's it?
No, that's not it, because that's what the episode 204 is called.
That was 204.
That's called trauma-informed care.
Well,
Yeah.
it can't be, because that's what episode 134 is called.
Oh boy.
All right, and then after that, we are going to discuss...
What you gonna call it? Trauma with an exclamation point.
We're going to discuss decision-making for kids, and this one is also one I think that we could call it a variety of top titles for the episode.
Let's call it decision making for kids, because I already got to think of another title, and I already made all the
There's
posts.
overlap between decision-making and problem-solving,
They
as
don't
we will
tell you about all
discover
the
in
web design
literature.
problems you're going to have in graduate school to become a BCBA. I don't know.
So there are 4 articles that we're going to review for that topic, and they are Promoting Social Inclusion, a structured intervention for enhancing interpersonal problem-solving skills in children with mild intellectual disabilities. That's by Vlashow and Stavrousi in Support for Learning 2016. Increasing Choice Making in Students with Intellectual Disability by Sparks, Pierce, Higgins, Miller, and Tandy. Published in Education and Training in Autism and Developmental Disabilities, also 2016. Then we have Hune and Nelson, Effects of Teaching a Problem-Solving Strategy on Preschool Children with Problem Behavior, published in Behavioral Disorders, 2002. And finally, Teaching Choice Making to Elementary Students with Mild to Moderate Disabilities by Coate, Sparks, and Coate. That was in Intervention in School and Clinic, 2012. And to round out the month, we are going to have 2 guests on to talk about compassionate care and teaching soft skills. That is going to be Dr. Jessica Rohrer and Dr. Mary Jane Weiss. And the article that we will mainly be discussing for that episode is Soft Skills, the Case for Compassionate Approaches, or How Behavior Analysis Keeps Finding Its Heart. I do love that title.
Me too. Super cute.
And that's by Rohr, Marshall, Suzio, and Weiss, published in Behavior Analysis and Practice 2021. Boom.
Great. So that's our 4 episodes. And for those of you who are subscribers on our Patreon feed or our Patreon page, you, in addition to getting some great CE discounts and some bonus episodes and some free CEs, we're also going to be doing our summer book club. So you voted, and what won?
What
Diana?
one was Street Data.
A next generation model for equity, pedagogy, and school transformation.
I mean, I can put a picture. You don't have to.
By Saphir and...
By Saphir and Dugan.
And there's a guest chapter in there too. I don't remember who wrote it though.
Okay.
Cool.
I didn't get to the guest chapter yet. I'm still working
Chapter
my...
7.
Oh, I'm sorry. With Carrie Wilson.
Okay.
And what year did this book come out?
This is new.
2021.
2021. Great. It's
This
an
is
excellent read so far.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to finish it and chat about it with everyone.
It's textbooky. I love it.
Yeah.
Good.
So for folks who aren't in the know, we do these book clubs once a quarter, and this is for patrons only. Eventually they come out in our free feed, but it's like a long way in the future. So if you're saying I'm on board with the idea of equity and the idea of data for equity, data systems for equity, and I want to hear about this book, it's August. I don't have time to read another book before I start prepping for, the new school year or whatever. Well, hey, maybe you want to join us on patreon.com/ABA Inside Track at our premium tiers. That's $10 a month. You're able to access all of our book clubs right as they are published and get 2 CEs just for listening. Otherwise, you have to wait. And you get a little preview too. So if you're not quite sure if that sounds like it's right for you, that's fine. You can go back and listen to any of the other book clubs we've done. We've done Meaningful Differences. We've done The Nurture Effect was our previous book club. So there's a preview for that. We do all sorts of covers. Neurotribes, a whole bunch of them. Some of them are out in the main feed by now, but many of them you can find a preview.
The dog training one.
Yes,
Yeah.
Other End of the Leash. We've covered a lot of different books. So if you're interested, go on over to patreon.com/ABA Inside Track or keep your ears out for our free preview. It'll be with us and Alan Haberman, and sometimes we're even joined by some other patrons. If you were saying, you know what, I read Street Data, I want to talk about Street Data with these jokers, tell you what, there's a tier for you to come talk with us about Street Data. And that'll be in August. So you'll be getting that preview sometime in this month. Exactly when, it's like near the end of the month, probably. All right. So
we already got 4 other episodes to do.
That's all the recordings. Yeah. That's all the recordings coming out. All right. Well, I think that brings us to the errata section of the show where we talk about some other things going on. And it's summer vacation. You're getting back into the swing of recordings. We have a couple other, times off. So we're a little bit ahead. We've done some of the episodes. We have some others coming out. We're trying to read ahead. I know for me, I got 3 straight days waiting for my child to get out of camp where I read all of Street Data. And I met the owner of the cafe I was in because he was wondering if I was just loitering.
Really?
Yes, he was a very nice fellow.
How
We
did
had
he
a nice
approach that?
conversation. He said, have you ordered anything? Because someone had just cleared my plate. Like, I got a breakfast, then I'd read for a while, then I'd get a lunch, and then I'd just kind of sit there. Because I said, if I sit here, I'll read this whole book, I'll get it done, I'll get my notes, right? But if I go home, then I'll start doing other things. And
sounds like
I wanted to get it done in time.
Crucial conversation.
I did have a crucial conversation.
Yeah. In college, I would just buy breakfast at the DH, which is what we call the dining hall, and then I would just stay. I just do all my work.
Well, that sounds depressing. The dining halls are never fun.
Well, they stopped serving the main food, then you just have cereal.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got a lot done.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
I had an excellent Mediterranean sandwich one day, a Mediterranean wrap. It was great.
Okay.
So we'll see. If you don't listen to the recording, you won't get me remembering what was I eating at the time I wrote some of those notes. Very exciting, I'm sure.
Physical evidence in the book.
I don't think so. No. We did have one.
You're very clean.
We did have one episode where I remember what it was because, or I remember the time I read the article because someone had dropped pizza on.
Whenever there's stuff on the article, it's because of me.
We share the articles. All right,
Not
so
with me, though.
not with Jackie usually. No.
I don't want their food articles.
Nope.
Sorry,
All right.
guys.
In any case, this is where we. So there's definitely errata because we're sort of rambling and going on. In terms
what errata means.
I know, but that's just what we decided to call the section of the show. We're going off the rails.
Okay.
So there will also be, speaking of Patreon, we're going to have a little post probably sometime in August. I'm not sure when. We'll have to wait till we're done with a couple trips and various things, just sort of like letting folks know about the schedule for the upcoming year, some changes we'll be making, why, in case they're interested. So if you're like, I don't like paying extra, I like my free podcast, then that's fine. You don't need to read this post, but otherwise it'll be out there, and we'll probably put it a couple other places too, to see if that is of interest to you. But just some schedule changes, nothing too huge about that. We're still excited about doing more book clubs. We still like doing our live episodes. We're kind of looking at some other options and opportunities, and we'll have a post about that, and then some more details in the September preview. And again, I feel like this is all a real sales pitch. One of the other things we'll often do is emails, and I think summer's usually a time we don't have a lot of emails because people are rightly going on trips and whatnot. But we do have a great comment that one of our patrons, Ksenia, sent us. Ksenia has been doing an amazing job of really, engaging with some of the recent posts and had some, great thoughts to share. We thank you so much for doing that, Ksenia. And had a question about a recent episode that we did on functional behavior assessments in school.
Episode 208.
I was going to say it, but I knew you liked to say it. So I was waiting for you. And Ksenia writes, I'm really enjoying this discussion so far. Ksenia started working in schools a few months ago, and it's really a whole different ballgame. I mentioned in the episode about teaching anxiety coping skills, which really resonated with Ksenia, and asked, what skills do you typically teach? Do you have any suggestions for further training on this topic? And I did what I think a good professional development podcast host should do. I cited a lot of other episodes in which we've already talked about anxiety.
And resources.
And some other resources.
Yeah.
But if you just are like, I want to read some articles about anxiety, I'm in the same boat as Ksenia, I work in schools, I want to read a little more on anxiety, we have episodes. You can just go to the webpage, abainsidetrack.com, to find links to articles on episodes 43,
which is anxiety,
192,
192, which is anxiety assessment,
58,
which is school refusal,
bonus 15.
That might be Dr. Christopher.
That is our talk with the anxiety researcher himself, and then episode 161 on mine. You don't know that one?
161.
161. School-based mindfulness.
Oh,
almost got them all.
Is that Josh Felver?
Dr. Josh Felver, yes.
Okay.
So those are other episodes.
Man,
if you're just like, I want a bunch of resources.
That's not listed. Oh, it's down there.
It's down there, yeah. I just want a bunch of resources related to anxiety in schools. Great, check those episodes out. You can listen to them. You can just get the articles. But some things that I had discussed were sort of some general practices, not to give anyone specific advice in terms of who are you collaborating with is a good question. In public schools, one of the positives is you often are going to be able to collaborate with school psychologists or adjustment counselors who may have specific training in treating anxiety, in which case they're very good resources to go with. You might have someone who has additional practice in mindfulness training in the classroom, or teachers who've done additional training in mindfulness practices, which can be helpful for anxiety. They're not one size fits all in that regard, but that can be supportive. Some work in the book Flexible and Focused by Dr. Nadowski on problem solving. There's a chapter in that book that I found very helpful for looking at problem solving as a set of steps. Our decision-making episode that we've got coming out in August, Problem Solving for Kids, will also continue some of that discussion, though with a little bit of a different kind of tangent on the idea of what is problem solving, what is decision making. So those are some places that I recommended. Sometimes shaping procedures in some of the articles we discussed can be very helpful. I don't remember if I put our episode on dental desensitization that we did a while back.
Yeah.
Oh,
you don't remember? With Dr. Kelly McConnell.
Yes. I don't know. 180.
In the 180s, that also.
I have to look. I can't remember.
That's a good one
here.
in terms of Dr. McConnell's work on setting up anxiety relaxation schedules, which was one of the first times I'd seen the use of something that structured for kind of a progressive relaxation schedule. I thought that was a really neat usage of some of the research in anxiety. Did you find it, Diana?
Oh man, no. Doing a bad job. I wasn't prepared.
It's all right. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
But now I want to know.
It's in there. Just search for dental desensitization, ABA Inside Track, or Dr. McConnell, ABA Inside Track, and you will find that episode.
Oh, failing. I'm failing all over the place. I guess I hit my max of what I can remember.
That's all right. Your mind fog got full. What can you do?
Yeah, I know.
But in any case,
I'm going to find it.
Okay, but anyways, thank you so much, Ksenia, for posting and for voting in the various polls we've had on the Patreon website for our for episodes we've done. But I hope that helps, and I hope for some of you who are in a similar problem-solving boat, I hope kind of pointing you in those directions is helpful to some of you out there. Well, Diana, our time is coming to a close.
So sorry.
And we don't. You could just edit the search,
Oh yeah, I guess so.
She wants to go through line by line in the Excel spreadsheet.
It's like a coding problem. Now we're just staring at you doing this. All right,
Awkward.
we're gonna wrap.
Sorry, everyone.
That's all right, everyone. It's dental desensitization. So we're gonna wrap up for August. We've got a lot of things coming out this month, and you can join us next month to hear about our plans for the new year in terms of the new school year or financial year. I don't even know when a financial year actually ends.
June.
Is it June?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're already done.
Yeah.
So our second
148.
148.
I was way off.
There you go, way off.
Holy moly.
You got it. That's all right. That's what matters. Is
That
you
was
tried.
during the COVID time, so
I guess. It's a great episode.
it is
I
a
know.
really good episode.
She was an amazing guest.
Mm-hmm.
Should listen to that one.
And an amazing
It's
person.
148.
There you go. All right, but we've got a bunch of episodes coming out this month. If you're interested in hearing them all, please make sure that you are subscribed to ABA Inside Track on the podcast player of your choice. You can also find updates on our various social media places. We're on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Please, I'm not great with Instagram, but I've been trying to get fancy with our little videos and turning them to the side and using their different versions. So if that's something you've noticed, please, say thank you so much, old man Rob. I appreciate you're trying to be hip and new. That would keep me going. I like that praise.
Someone gave me instructions on how to do something on Instagram the other day.
What was it?
Like a TA.
Yeah. Because they had tagged us.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, tag someone else. And I wrote back and I was like, I don't know how. But I haven't had time to try it because I wanted to give myself space to screw up and not be frustrated with not doing it right away. So it'll be coming soon and then they'll be very impressed.
Everything's very live. I find my because you used to be able to I'm going to practice with the website design. It's like, well, I'll mess it up, but it's on a page that I'm not showing anyone, so I can screw it up over and over, and it's okay. But all that stuff, it's like, I did it wrong, and everyone's gonna know.
So I just need some time. But yeah, that's funny.
All right. So you can check us out all those places. You can go to our website, abainsidetrack.com, to find links to all of the episodes that we have done, to purchase CEs for our episodes, and to find links to all of the articles that we ever discuss and will discuss. And like we've been talking about a lot this episode, if you want even more of our content, including a discussion of street data this month, go to patreon.com/ABAinsidetrack and subscribe at whatever tier you like. But if you do want to hear those book clubs, the premium $10 tier is where you will need to be. If you just want everything a week ahead of time, so if you want to be getting these previews before the month starts, or you just want some CE discounts or CEs for our live episodes, that you can do it at a lower tier. So whatever fits your lifestyle for the Patreon life. And I guess that brings us to the end. Oh, of course, email us, abainsidetrack@gmail.com. Tell us about what you've been doing this summer. How have you become a better BCBA through maybe taking a trip? What inspired you? There's a call to action for everybody. If you want to write that in, we are happy to share those thoughts, or we'll just keep them to ourselves and enjoy that you shared them with us. All right, everyone. We'll see you next week with the first of all of those brand new August episodes. But until then, keep responding. Bye!